755. In this video I have to talk a lot. That's why I'm right now at work. Behind me you can see the containers I have worked with. Yes, so yeah, I will briefly go over what I will include in this video. First and foremost, I want to talk about what is happening, like about the meditation, about how it's going in my place I'm living, and then I want to talk about doctors I have went to and what has come out from that. Maybe a little bit about work if I'm feeling like it, and yes, more. And then I want to go, the most important thing is to go as like I wrote some things about gender thing to try to get a consultation with the Gender Identity Center in Denmark. So that's what I'll do. Yes, so first, yes, the benefits of meditation, are they apparent? I think yes. I think when I don't meditate, I'm feeling as shit as I usually do. Like I'm feeling like I hate myself, like I don't fit in. Therefore, I'm starting to get doing some mean things to people, especially around a person that is my roommate. Yeah, but when I do meditate, like I kind of see that's like, oh, this is like some negative energy, I should not do that, and therefore I don't. And overall it helps me to be more stable. Like day before yesterday was a very tough day because I got really sick, like super heavy sick, like super heavy fever, like I was cold even under 2 blankets, very warm clothes, and even like my roommate sleeping on me. Yeah, and like even drinking tea, like I was still freezing, like I was like naked in Antarctica or something like that. It was very heavy, and with addition, like my bones were hurting so much that I couldn't even move like outside of the bed. Like if I would want to stand up, like I would be really suffering in that sense physically. And therefore, like I also didn't meditate for 2 previous days, and that was like a big hit on my mental health, I would say, and like I got a little bit carried away, but ultimately like everything turned out fine. And yes, yeah, now about my roommate, he proposed to me like with some flowers, like cut up flowers, the ones that you can find in the grass in the field, even like on the streets, the small white flower petals with a yellow center in the center. I don't know what they're called in English, but yeah, and he basically with these heads of these flowers wrote like on the paper like, will you be my girlfriend? And it was so adorable because he also misspelled the word you, like he swapped the letters U and O. It was so silly, but yeah, ultimately I accepted, so now he's like my boyfriend. Yes. And okay, a person came, like my colleague came to offer me to go for work in Copenhagen, like to pick up some heavy, like it's some heavy work, but I accepted, so, but it's not now, so I can continue. What did I left on? Yes, so basically he's my boyfriend now, and we've been together for like, I don't know which day today is. Today is 23rd of April, and he proposed me on 17th. Yeah, so it's like almost 1 week. Yes. Okay. Next point. And yeah, he's also really helping me to stay motivated and determined to meditate, so that's also very nice. And I also help him with his dramas, with other things, so it's like a very nice symbiosis, I would say. Okay, let's talk a little bit about work, because it's kind of, now I kind of got back in the thinking process about work. My boss is still very apparently upset with me for some reason. I don't know why she is still like that, but she's very openly ignoring me and not wanting to talk with me. The only reason she talks with me is when she really needs to. And why is it so obvious is because before she was not like that. And I think after the talk that we had with my teacher and her, like, she expressed a lot of like negative points about me, and then ultimately, like, what I got from that message, I already like also explained it in the other video before, that yeah, it seems like she's not satisfied with me to work here. And yeah, well, and yeah, it's very, like, I really feel it, and I also feel it because, like, she's ignoring me, or like has this cold attitude. A lot of workers here also has like this cold attitude, so then I feel more scared to also open up myself, and therefore I also close up. So it's like, in that sense, I'm kind of adding petrol into the fire. Well, how do you call it? I don't know in English. Yeah, so I'm basically, they're closing for me, and because they're closing, like, I'm getting scared and less motivated to talk, so I am also adding up to it. So ultimately now it stands that, like, in the breaks that we have, the like common breaks, I'm just sitting on my phone, trying not to encounter with anyone, and yeah, just eat and drink tea or something like that. Okay, that's pretty much it. I don't remember if I missed something. So I wanted to talk about something else, but oh yeah, the doctors, right. I tried, well, I went to the doctor to check my heart for whether my heart can withstand something, and ultimately it turned out that I can. Basically, it's for antidepressants if I would take them, but my general practitioner said that, like, right now I'm in a very good shape. I think it's also very visible that I'm quite happy now, despite a lot of things that happened. But spoilers, I will not spoil you that much, but basically, yes, he said basically that right now there's no real, I don't see a need for you to take antidepressants, but if it gets worse, like if you get like some very dark periods, then I can always just text my general practitioner or call him and ask for a prescription for antidepressants and just start using them. Of course, he also like explained all the side effects and like how it works and how to get out of it ultimately. But yeah, I'm also a little, I don't really want to start using it, and like my idea of using it was to do it after I would go get meeting with my therapist, or like any therapist, because I don't have a therapist yet. However, I tried to calling the therapist. That was the only one that my doctor advised me to call, because it was like 10 weeks waiting time, and the other ones is like 45 weeks and more. Therefore, I tried calling him, even though like I can only approach this number on Tuesday from 4 to 6 in the evening or afternoon, and that's very silly already. But then I called him and he said that he's not accepting new customers, well, not customers, patients, because I don't know why. I didn't really get it, because the phone signal was not that good, and he's also an old person, so his voice is, and his English with Danish accent is like his Danish accent is stronger, so his Danish is also harder to understand through phone. and he basically said that especially like he doesn't take new patients with stuff that they need more dealing with, although I didn't even mention why am I calling. But yeah, basically that also kind of failed, and now I don't know what to do, because it seems like I'm in like a stalemate where I cannot get support from like in any psychiatrists or therapists in Denmark, because like sure I can sign up for one after 1 year, but who knows what happens in 1 year. Maybe I will not be in Denmark, and that's just, I don't know, it kind of upsets me a little bit, because like why can't I get it, right? Because like there's a lot of them and they're booked, and I think they're taking a lot of breaks. I don't know, of course maybe I can be wrong, but it just seems unreasonable amount of waiting time is needed for one paltry person to get an appointment with a therapist. It just seems unrealistic. So I think I'm missing something, but as like even if doctors like general protection doesn't know like how to get it, like neither do I. And calling them and checking the website every day for an opportunity that someone will get out is just so energy consuming, and with addition with how busy is my life right now, like work and then community life and living together with a person and with a very active person, is quite a busy daily schedule I must say. And it's also very draining, and to spend more time looking for doctors, seeing that nothing works out, is, for my mentality, I don't think I can handle that pressure. I would say not pressure, but like constant refusal or constant failure. And I'm better off looking where the time will carry me. But then also when I was talking with my general practitioner, I was expressing my thoughts about gender identity, like transitioning, and he said that he will write a referral to a Danish gender identity center, which basically is the main thing here, how to transition is through them, officially at least. And yeah, and but yesterday evening I got a message from my doctor saying that they refused it, and the reasons was that like it seems for them, even though they haven't even talked with me, that I'm on a very early stage of questioning my gender identity, as well as like as it seems like from the letter that Dave wrote to my doctor, that my doctor also didn't provide enough information for them to work with. Like it lacked some information. I'll include it in this video, and I might show this video, or at least next fragment, to the people there. And yeah, therefore I was rejected, and now I have to wait until 6th of May to get an appointment again with my general practitioner to talk what to do next, because therapists don't accept me, gender identity center doesn't accept me. I don't know what to do. I'm suffering from things and I'm dealing with things, and yeah, my head is like in a big mess. That's it. It's actually crazy that I'm that calm, but again, I think that's why meditation really helps me, and that's very good. So then I checked the website of the gender identity, and I found out like some points that they are asking, or for example in the consultation, like in the first consultation, to check if you are eligible for treatment, like either it's hormonal treatment or it's getting operations or surgeries, how do you call them, and future guidance in getting treatment or, I don't know, support. And it seems like I can just talk with it now, and I don't know, maybe right now talking, like, no, okay, I will not necessarily show this video to anyone, like, of the doctors, but I think this video is a good opportunity for me to put, like, some things into materialistic format, so then I can either write it down with a very structured way, or I can transcribe it and yeah, send it to doctors in a text form. Either way, here I go. Basically, now I take out my paper. First and foremost, I do a YouTube channel. I started doing it since January, and I started doing it for multiple reasons. But the main catalyst is that I got dedication to do it, because throughout all my life I've always wanted to do something, especially creative, so that I can actually not only do for myself but also, like, kind of put it somewhere for others to see. It's not necessarily to gain audience or, like, gain fame, but that does not interest me, but I just really want to express myself and kind of put it in the internet, for example, for people possibly to discover it, and I don't know, I might inspire someone, and that's basically my goal. I don't know, I just really like to yap about myself and express how I see things or think about things or whatever. But I never committed to it, and in any kind of form. Like, I'm writing books as well, but, like, I'm writing very slowly. I'm always only thinking about them. I'm never really executing any plans for these books. I wanted to record videos before, but I never could decide, like, how to do it, what kind of themes or whatever to do. Like, I wanted to do a how do you call it in English? It's like physics or, like, mathematics or, like, astronomy, that kind of things. Like, very sciencey, science pop, that's how it's called. Videos, or, like, something related with music, like TikTok, open a TikTok channel to record videos and talk about music. And many other ideas, also drawing, painting, learning some new skills. Everything is, like, only in my head, and then I never execute it. And since December I started transitioning, and actually people have started calling me as a she since December, and I also started experiencing life, like sometimes starting to wear makeup, dressing like a female, and just feeling like a female around my boyfriend now, but also beforehand. And throughout these 3-4 months, as you can also clearly see, my YouTube channel is a sole example of that I actually started being dedicated to do something. And yes, since January I started recording videos. Obviously they're not that consistent because I don't have that much time, and I tend to focus on work when I'm at work, and when I'm home I don't have free time because I'm living with a person, and I don't really want to get out, like, be alone as well, because I like his company. So ultimately I just decide to, like, leave it when I'm either driving or I don't have that much work to do, and yeah, record the videos now. So only now I will enter the page, the paper. Yeah, this was like just to like kind of breathe it out. Like these videos themselves are like the sole example and proof that gender identity change is having a very good impact on my mental health, first of all, and it's really like putting out of the struggles I have dealt with before in my life. And that's the first point, is gender identity issues. Like also talking about, I will mix these points like throughout to make it more smooth, but it will be very chaotic anyways, so be prepared. Basically throughout my whole life I've been kind of not satisfied with that I am a man. I wanted to be a girl in that young age, and I was like really not understanding like things. But I also, because my parents were very expressively transphobic and also homophobic, and I kind of also picked that opinion and attitude as well, because, and also was not only because of the parents but also because of the friends, and overall the society in Latvia has been and still is like that it's very not supportive of trans people and gay people or whatever, and it's very expressive, like very open about hating on it. And in order to survive in that environment, a kid's brain obviously will pick up the common traits of the social circle around it. So I also became like this, and whenever I had these thoughts about myself, like I don't really like to be a man, I don't feel good, I kind of always like disregarded the thought, like it's like, oh no, what are you thinking, are you what, a gay or something? And therefore I didn't like elaborate on it. But throughout the years, in teenagers specifically, it kind of manifested itself into depression and feeling really depersonalized and like this derealization disorder kind of thing. And it's all speculative because I could never get a therapist to really get diagnosed, because we are also not from a very wealthy, I'm not from a wealthy family, so getting appointment for therapist costs money, especially if you want to get diagnosed, and getting a referral from a general practitioner in Latvia is not a thing, because in Latvia it's not a thing to get treated like this, or it's not common at least. And my parents also didn't seem like I need it, they didn't really like see that I'm struggling, but I also didn't really express it because I felt this depressed and this depersonalized. I kind of also closed up and became very, very numb to experiences. For example, not feeling quite some emotions, becoming asexual, becoming not wanting to live, and not wanting to socialize and just be in peace and, I don't know, in my room and do nothing. And looking back, I'm kind of like confused why they didn't see it as a problem and why they didn't kind of try to like help me. But at the same time, I think also back whenever they asked me something, I also kind of disregarded. It's like, I'm okay, it's okay. So yeah, it's like from both sides, it's kind of not a pleasant growing up. And then later in life, I got a girlfriend, which helped me with my negative aspect of my life and kind of helped me to see that I can be happy, I can gain happiness, and I can be loved, and I can share love. And in that sense, it was very, very it was the most amazing time of my life. I cannot deny that. But still, like, even being together with her, I felt that like something is not right. I always had these like kind of also like these periods of hating myself, or like not feeling like good in my body, and and also still being asexual despite us fucking and having sex. And it was mainly influenced, like we were mainly doing sex because of her and because she was very into it, and it felt very good for her, and I just felt so much love that I could not please her, because that is something that makes her happy. And sometimes I even try to initiate it, but it was like just basically convincing my brain that this is what I want. But yeah, ultimately, like, I still didn't feel like really into that shit. Yeah, and then I broke up, or to be more exact, she broke up with me because she didn't seem to see a good future with me, and she found other man later in life, right now, that is kind of giving her what she wanted, like more determined look for future, more determined look for maintaining life and all these kind of things. And yeah, but that's besides the point. Right then, after I broke up, I kind of realized a lot of things as well, because that's how people realize things after experiencing a lot of pain. That I think I'm truly asexual, and yeah, and I also started questioning more about my identity. So then I moved back with my parents for a short period of time, and before moving to Denmark. Before I was living with my girlfriend in Netherlands, actually, but then I moved back to Latvia with my parents for like half a year before I discovered teaching a school here in Denmark that I really want to attend. And now I'm in the school, and now I'm doing basically a saving up course, like working 1 year to earn a tuition for the whole program. And I think this place here in Denmark, since since August I have been here, is the first time in my life I don't have anyone around me that is responsible for me, or I feel attached to, you know. And that really helped me to be free to explore myself more without prejudgment and prejudice and whatever. And yeah, and now here I am. So yeah, basically, there was a very good point I wanted to include. No, that was a very good point I wanted to include. It's like I always felt very, very distant from being alive, and I always felt like I'm just surviving. I'm just like looking what's happening in my life, and therefore I never felt like, not even like threatened or anxious about anything that is happening around me. For example, if there's exams coming up that are very important, I never felt really motivated to study for them, therefore I didn't study for them. And I also didn't feel anxious while they're coming. So even in the last day, I rationally understand that I should study to get good results, because my parents also were kind of pushy for me to be a good student and get good grades and get good university and whatever. In that sense I was kind of forced to study, but I still didn't study. And yeah, and in the exams I still performed well for some reason, because I guess I'm gifted with good logical and rational thinking, and just figuring it out on the spot is kind of my style as well. But also because of this style, my brain discovered that like I don't really need to study to achieve things, you know. But yes, and it's not only about studying, about doing some physical workouts for myself, for my body, or doing some disciplinary work, or just something that satisfies me. I cannot do it on long term. Like, I could get focused very easily for a long period of time, so I don't have like really hard time with focus, but I have very big trouble with continuously doing the thing that's I either have to or want to do. As in, if it becomes like a habit or something that I must do, or it's like obligatory, then there's a very strong possibility that I will stop doing it because of that. Yeah, that's basically also about feeling things like, as I mentioned, I don't feel anxious. I didn't feel anxious in my life at all before. I always felt very depressed, but not anxious. I didn't feel like, there's also some benefits of it because I didn't struggle from things that usually people struggle with, but that's a different topic, and I don't think I should delve into it more now. But just to mention some short things that I wrote down for the thing of gender identity centers, they're like, as I mentioned also before, like I have not had any either somatic or psychiatric illnesses that are diagnosed, because I have never gotten an opportunity to diagnose myself, and therefore I also haven't had any treatment, any medicine intake or something like that, as well as I don't consume any alcohol or drugs, I don't smoke, and I don't see a reason to why. I might have done some passive smoking because I have friends that smoke, and a lot of them, but not that I do the smoking. My BMI is around 20. I don't know exactly how much I'm high and how much I weigh, but I think there's like, even if I put the smallest amount, like to try to get the smallest coefficient of BMI, I still get like around 19, so it's, I guess, in the norms. Yeah, about social circle, like now I have a boyfriend, my family, like still despite my family being quite distant from me, I never really argued with them as well. I just thought somebody's coming. But I'm also very friendly with everyone, and I've never had any enemies, and I never really had any struggles with being bullied or being laughed at or like something like that, or like being excluded, except actually right now at work. It's very strange, we'll talk about it later, maybe in different video, not now. But it is an interesting remark, I have to remember this. Yes, and overall, like, I'm a very positive person, don't try to hold grudges. Like, it's very hard for me to hold grudges, I cannot be angry at all to anyone. I'm a very understanding person, so in that sense it's very hard to be in a continuous conflict with anyone, and therefore I have some good relationships as well. Yes. And yeah, and the next thing, I think the last thing, is about treatment. What do I want to get from gender identity? How do I want to act on changing my gender? And I also think I have mentioned it in the previous videos, but I'll also mention it now, that it's basically to get hormonal treatment only. I'm also thinking to get laser, surgery, I guess. It's like to remove facial hair here. I just shaved this morning, but it's very bad. It grows in like 2 days, it's already like growing, and it really makes me feel upset every time I wake up and look in the mirror, for example. And maybe makeup consultations as well, but that's very like little things. I don't think that's really up to now. Like basically the main thing is that to get hormonal treatment and not to do surgeries. At least I don't plan to do it now, because I don't have a craving to get a vagina, because again I'm asexual, at least for now, and therefore I have no real difference. I'm indifferent in either I have a penis or I have a vagina, and I think with penis it's easier to pee, so I think I'll for now remain on this. And about the name, I have thought about it, and I will change my name ultimately. Like that's my plan, at least, to get my name. And but I will not do it in Denmark. I will do it probably with my Latvian passport, because I have a Latvian passport, and I do have some respect for my parents, because I would not be alive without them. Therefore, I would ask them for a name to give it to me, and use the name, a female name that they would give me if I would be born as a female. Okay. So now I will go a little bit away because there's a person there. Hehe. And just last two things also to mention, that I already came out to my parents. I only have to come out to my father, that is not living with my mother and my stepfather. And other thing is that starting transitioning has again brought me a lot of benefits. I'm feeling more stable, but as well with that I also have some cons, but they are very good cons, because they're showing that I'm starting to get more human. Namely, first time in my life I felt anxious, and it's not about one thing, it's like few days, like some days, like now, like either once or twice a week I get some anxious moments. Maybe it's rarer, maybe it's like one time per 2 weeks, but like once per week I have these kind of nervous moments, you know, and I've never had these moments. And overall I also feel more happier, more seen, as in that sense. And yes, but with that said, it also doesn't solve all of my issues, because I still feel very derealized, in the sense that I'm also feeling very, very drowsy all the time. I'm feeling like a lot of that I'm dreaming all the time, and still depression is there, self-hatred still is there, and it's actually stronger than it was before, because before I was just kind of suppressing it and just keeping within, but now that I'm starting to explore my mind more, I'm also discovering that these kind of self-hatred, and because I was also transphobic before, it's very hard to also deal with me transitioning, because like becoming what I hate, it's not something I thought I would become. So it's a big fight, but still, with all that in mind, I think I'll become a woman, with Danish government or not, but I will get there. That's about it. 755.